Moving on, we will go to Little Water. Nahol Jijalish, Mr. Barbone.
Ja, nanat ehdolleesti penki skali tranas nellosengi do dunder are NDOT personnel nosengi nere da kodo ha acho sata tatsata Little Water chapter are ya nikhis khaza akho nere in that area tra 18 ya Ebik ya adahuilia capital improvement plan fiscal year 2025 to 2029 akutao ya na project ya adahuilia akho this one project ya BIA Navajo Road N481. It's also known as the Heart Butte Loop. Erigi akudi atinigi ya na kigo sine loze bakha kuna ya etin akudi right away ya bahaten adu in that the impact statement all ero bahaten ko edigi akho dirigi we need help diri atin has anagi ROW agent neheten beshpatasa an do ya peso ya naha ya neda ata eyego ya dishina thori chapter di got ya baby Jean does the edi signature de yapita that egi biji de do ligi ya kwe anahot akudi rigi ade BIA baby hasi nagade krisakari hazli ero ita analteo NDOT do baby hasi ashore the ROW agent yasa nakhanda do tres peso ya boltrago nakha ya do sis Diego ya benachi khanahot even di road construction any project khashi water line power line that Aggie Road even to nasho del dota but now it's caught on less. Achit egoda ya di kadigi in Japan so case to less a co edi neso on hitishna edi a go di teen it's the dia just hit the community na Japan das nesat shoda na hashte da hose that shria di kodot dan das in the parts about that the need they dan gesnego die goed ago ja jen het gadat die N418 though the other two ja N483 ja Star Pond Road east of Borrego Pass trading post die coded out Eddie Carter Road 19 Connect east and south to the teen Eddie Star Pond Road kunanat ROW bahat nanat and impact statement do arun der base do ero di kompeteni linko edigi aru in der di kone nere shijana area stack road Alto ero ROW bahat and impact statement do doing that base do johalati yati ROW bahat dengi to Australia ki benina di kot ego ya do hastin neta ko edigi Akurasa banna uska dirigi nakaban sada kistoli akit ego da dirigi yada san hasure dost esleko edigi ako adun da kashi planner des eastern or northern kashi yadi kone so sto da de dil sesa to na ka to lo sa to so di da agi road project di kut agwa ya pasna hat ko chi da nasko da do ko di ki ako di Hartwood Road di da 16.3 million da ko ya ba do les aru in phase kut so kut ya penahuit di ya aru the other two roads we saw in phase kut go so kut ya da penahuit ko di ya di kut ya nakaban sa case do le di ko little water chapter go ya ni khaz angi di do aru di ko da athini ki di ko da na asphalt ki Inland and the corner so ya 1,000 feet ADT. They could 4 million. Ajagon Johnny AD asphalt Arunda the chips asphalt it has a long span of life Ajago. But on these chip seals, they have a span of 1 to 2 years. Kodogo, di cast das pothole. Leheko digi, benina stone haban so kesto les asphalt go. Ajogun John Ilinante ko digi, to Washington de peso di corner. Nahan nadat apeste no kedo sidi kot ago sin zundolis on so ya ban case a call 2 road project then we got it out of the way. Little Water Chapter access road 4 years ago ben khas niti enda construct la asphalt is a card Johnny ko digi ko la di ko na ka je ko di ko ya a tin to ta ko the national sin da na Sunday pothole da logo basta I khanda de chao ho anda ti didn't have student di ko da the khanda the McKinley do bia do la de Danish shorty Bell Tragi da dikot da echo da yos ko these are the 2 road could so county could ya choyos ko could edolis do arunda the koro chapter manager shabata dos alta do Genevieve ko ha da sin sago do ya hadot si sto
Good morning, everyone. My name is Genevieve Castillo. I'm the chapter manager for Little Water. Tratni sanin shlona koide nabashchin, but on the 8th Naldo Twibajan Ajay. Could Mr. Barboni hatsi? It's good to see Mr. Peterman, Mr. Castillo. That the chapter access road. Thank you for that road. I used to always get told by our community people, Genevieve, you better not drive on that mud road. No, but, we're thankful for that. However, there are some things that still needs improvement. There's always improvement that need to be made, regardless where you're at, what entity, the obstacle that we go through, such as the Eastern Agency. We have the land status. There's a way we can conquer that. If we can get together group and invite all the entities, just like what you said, this is just an outreach to get to know us. We get to know who you guys are. But when we're at the chapter, we're trying to tell them, hey, you know, they had a change of directors, they had a change of the president, and just like what we go through, we are going to be going through come January, we're going to go through a change of elected officials. So some of us are going to be with new official. So just to give you a heads up, you might as well put in your calendar after January, after they take oath, you might want to do an outreach again to get the new elected official educated and giving them the resource on what are that can be done as far as NDOT. One of the things that I had concerns about, yes, thank you for the road. I'm always thankful. Every time it rains, I'm like, thank you, NDOT, because I don't know how to drive in the mud. But the chapter access road, IU, our main artery road, N481, and Mr. Peterman, you brought up the weight. And so when you start going on that road, Otto Wilson and Company, so when you're driving towards the chapter and you're heading east, people that are heading east drive on the oncoming lane, which is very unsafe. I go through that every morning and every evening, and we're talking about safe. And then the other thing is speed. This chapter access road that NDOT built for us goes right by Head Start. Yes, I understand, and we're trying to see what we can do to prevent speeding. So I would like to see more with everyone coming in to talk to us about safety. And the other concern I have is we did work together. I do hear counties. We worked with Orlando and Daryl, Mr. Bradley and Priscilla, regarding County Road 19. Unfortunately, it's not under Little Water's name, it's under Casamara Lake. However, we need to do a better job working with McKinley County. And lay baka dot etkin don lay Casamara Lake. Yes, it's chip seal. The road is damaged horribly. And when we were working with that, we worked with Jeff Irvin, who's no longer with McKinley County. Now I'm seeing that road, it comes through Baca, Casamara Lake, and then it goes up in the Mesa area of Little Water, and it connects 509, is that what it's called? 509, 508? 559 that goes into Milan. Came by the mine. That road, but there's some and when we were doing the plan and design, I brought that up. Why is the shoulder really close to and everyone just like, and Sina, I've driven that road, you dodge potholes. And somehow we need to go back with the county and try to work on that to see what we can do to fix. And unfortunately, Casamara Lake wasn't included part of this, but they might bring that up. And the other thing, culvert, heartbeat loop, culvert, and it's not removed. We went and were able with, he's no longer there, he retired. District 6, the one in Milan, and they need culverts lan hadejja. A chapter dishja. BIA don't want to install it. And I need help getting that culvert reinstalled. So we have elders living out there. And I looked at this ADT, you know what? we're never going to meet that ADT. I'm looking at some of our communities. Crown Point will probably meet some of the ADTs. Some of these, White Rock, Lake Valley, yes, a traffic, but Little Water, I'm never going to meet that ADT. So right now, I'm like, forget this Alamo na at least since we're having issues with land status. Right off Heartbeat, there, I have a Soul Air, a Lottie. I have BLM. I've worked with BLM. I know what they look for. And the only reason why that guy blessed me with everything is because he was moving to Wyoming. He got reassigned. He goes, Genevieve, I'll just sign off on these documents for you. And I'm trying to work with Mr. Sosi from the Eastern Land to exchange our BLM. BLM 3 on our main road. I know what I'm going to do with, I know what difficulty lies ahead. And then right on one at the road, state, that's Isopihi. So I need to get that rerouted. And looking at this ADT, you know what, some of the areas, I would prefer low water crossing. If I can't get the full asphalt, can we explore low water crossing? Can we explore, what did they call that thing you guys did up in Sawmill, that runoff? Auto degrading, the 15-mile. My operator, we don't have an operator no longer. He left, he retired. So now when we request for the 15-mile, I'm going to be singing some of the same song. Oh, I said, why do you do that? Aren't you supposed to start from this to this? And they pick up their blade. Yes, I have community members that live on that route that have pictures. Unfortunately, I didn't bring them. But one of them, we encountered cattle guard. And BIA came in and got that fixed for us. Because I get it, it's a cattle guard. I don't know what happened right there. But there are some issues that we need to address, and I would rather address with INDOT personally and BIA personally. And I don't want to put it all on the table in front of everyone, but those are some of the concern. And my president brought up right away, when we were doing the chapter access road, we took the initiative to hire our own right-of-way agent. And I think that some of the things that the chapter can do, we hired our own right-of-way agent. But that was an initiative on our part because we need it done. The same thing with County Road. We did that. And so there's things that can be worked through, but we need to see you guys, and I really would like to see a planner for the Eastern Agency that can help us come out and explore what we go through. And what was I wanted to bring up? All of our routes are bus. We have Gallup, McKinley County, Crown Point, Borrego Pass, Rehoboth, and then once in a while, we'll get St. Bon out. So we do have bus routes. So can we count them when they're sitting on the bus? Because once one bus goes through, you guys count it as 180T. But if you can imagine how many kids are sitting on that bus, that should be qualifying as something. But I always thought, why do we do this? And sometimes when they did that to the chapter access road, I told my community people during the chapter meeting, even if you are bored today, drive back and forth. let's meet, exceed our ADT. I'm like, but thank you, and it's nice to see you guys, and good luck, and we hope we work with you, and we can accomplish a lot for our people in the communities. Thank you.
Thank you.
The, January 2nd, when I started, one of the sections was they labeled it as project management, but it's not really project management. It's compliances. Since then, we've hired a department manager, a Anjanette Hawkolye, a Ajitaho Ishtole, no, Nanishpadat. Right away, budget be istota, but I will visit back with Anjanette and see if we can take one of the positions and create a right-of-way agent that has come up in a couple of other requests. Aro koje planner, but not the kidigi northern door shiprock north eastern nige at advertising di kojin kilhal nazio la bahonosino not sociate don so we can get somebody hired. Northern nige later that's Amanda Tolino. 6 weeks ago, 8 weeks she transferred over from another department, Northern and then the ADT bina kidgiya, the gibin nat at Kate not I know. I come from Round Rock. We're never getting a paved road either. So, but on spouse no ya a teen dot lishike ya a lot the milya 1,000 kuichin bisin that the jaw hot the yoke to an hide yada tom hidden bahol nita ya later based on hutch added ahagi dot things based on cho in ho taga hot zandonly 45 je di ya ya a teen ilya 4-lane ilyago ako ale Washington net ha alteo natin di belaho to bisnata at jahaki to bednal ada hit ni ako base aja charge inagi ayom nan kit the kiddo ben nab it losen there eben na di tin dot lishigi a lot of mil yajiko be kapsin da je aja bahas da nia and his bahas and dole on the new chapter officials. We're actually planning a east and west orientation for the new chapter officials in February of next year. So after all of the inaugurations and all that stuff and the first chapter meeting and all that, we are going to be sponsoring a orientation for the new chapter officials. One of the things that seems to be a byproduct of actually paving new roads, and we've heard this from N20 way across on Western, 89, Arizona put in money to build a road really quickly, that N20. We just met with them, and the communities on that route are upset. A team ba'alyanaya kojid no yo bisinta atje. It's unsafe. It's speeding. Da no trash done. And the lady that presented from the cheat chapter is like, we hate Google Earth or Google Maps because when somebody that's coming from down south will actually route them on Google Maps on N20 to get to Antelope Point. So their traffic, and Antelope Point gets 3 million visitors a year. So they don't have an ADT issue. They have an issue of, we got a new road and now we're upset. The same way with Crystal Chapter. Crystal Chapter got that magnesium chloride thing in there, and then 6 months later they're like, we like the road, we just don't like that everybody speeds on that now. And yesterday we had one of the chapters calling their road the Autobahn, Oh, oh, yo, chidita ache, no. So, no sendi tingi khata atlishoya. There's new issues that come up with it, and a lot of it has to do with the speed. We don't know. The cars now, these guys gave me a truck because we were up in Page, and we were going to Page, and one of those trucks went by, and one of them, the stone fell out of it or something, and that busted my tri-B windshield. So these guys gave me a temporary while that one's being fixed. That thing has power. This morning on the freeway, I caught myself going 82. So the cars now, remember when we were growing up, we knew when we were hitting 60 or 70, right? The new cars now, you can hit 82 without knowing you're 82. So, but that was on the interstate. So don't report me to Motor Vehicle Review Board. It's on camera now too. So, but the thousand the kachideda liagi hashi whatli the thousand the shania the how yani you catch yourself going too fast. So that's the other issue of it. The cars now that are built, you don't feel the road anymore, because before, once you hit 75, the other part of it is reverse back. I had a Jeep. I'm never buying a Jeep again. I always wanted a Jeep Wrangler. When you get on the freeway and you hit that thing at 70 and a truck passes you, that whole thing goes like this. So it's kind of creepy. But on the speed, that is an issue. When you make improvements, it makes it easier to speed on those roads. And then the counties, one of the things I'm really pushing planning is to get involved in these groups. There's a Northwest planning group that sits out of Gallup. Robert Kuipers, I believe is his name. You need to get involved in those ones. Mini Farms and Chinle are really good at going to the Northern Agency Council of Government in Flagstaff to get funding. They're trying to get funding again on 191, which is a state route. So hopefully planning will share that information. Is for those county and state routes, there's other planning groups that you need to let them know on your requests that are doing that. On the potholes, I'll let Mr. Peterman address that. The culverts, the best way to describe it is you have a real small culvert and you want to make it bigger. If you change it from the original installation of it, you have to go through all the clearances. And one of the things that I've learned in our chapter visits is when you have mountain ranges, all of that water, that culvert has to be designed for that 100-year floodplain. Was it 10 years ago? Remember when we had those really big storms? You have to design that culvert for that one event. So like on 491, late that khalate di cover digi adol nilo wazo na tino ahon touch don nahagi digi binayo yatan. And there's certain permits for certain water routes that you have to get all of those ones done. So cover digi odo jol the hat nilo. But I'll let Mr. Peterman address the culverts that were taken out because it does seem to be an issue. The low water crossing is definitely a option, and those ones I'll let Leanne explain what the ADT count is for a low water crossing. she's more of that. The other one that we're doing is when I first came, I worked with Joe's shop with Sheila and Sheldon. All the operators that are in place have all gone through training. We spend a pretty penny on training to get all of those operators in there. So what I'm going to ask for their help is to make sure that that they implement what was provided in those trainings. So safety is certainly slowing down. And if you do see abuses that are there, you guys all have my email now. Report it to me and I'll make sure that we review it. We are trying to get a safety officer on staff that will help us review all of those instances where a grader isn't being used properly. The other one that I'm pushing for that I need to do and a policy on is we want to do drug and alcohol testing on our operators because they're operating a $250,000 piece of equipment, and we need to be able to randomly test all of those ones that are in there. I did introduce the concept. I've gotten approval from DPM. I've gotten approval from DOJ. I just need to work with some people to get those policies in there. But I think that if we're having that type of power in those graders, we need to make sure that those operators are safe all of the time. All right? So I'll go on ahead and let Leanne respond back to some of your questions, and then Mr. Peterman.
So with the low water crossing, we don't need ADTs on that one. What we're looking at is safety. We'll assist you with a safe road safety audit, because the justification on that one is safety. So that one doesn't pertain to the ADT, these ADT strategies. All we're looking at is safety there, especially for the low water crossings. Now with the Northwest, with New Mexico DOT, we heard a lot about bridges today. That's another outlet, another funding that you can apply to, which Navajo DOT, we do assist the chapters on applying for that. Margie Begay, our supervisor for the planners, she heads that portion. She attends our meetings with Robert Kuipers. So that's a quarterly meeting. So please get with her. She's got forms, and if she runs out, she can run to New Mexico DOT and Gallup and get more forms. There is a deadline coming up real soon. So, but if we can still keep applying. But low water crossing, you don't need ADTs, just the road safety audit to justify. Thank you.
You know that County Road 19, there's a lot of different funds put in there, CIHASN and fuel excise tax, New Mexico, even McKinley County contributed to chip seal that road. Came out pretty nice, but you know what? These trucks start running up and down it. It's no enforcement. Nobody tells those trucks don't stay off of it. Now it's getting pothole. It's unfortunate. The same with 481. The trucks were too heavy running on there. Now it's all potholed up. We'll take a look at it and we'll get back with you on it. See what we can do.